Hi guys, and welcome back to Azaria's Place. I was just kind of thinking about different things to talk about today. Oops. Just to see how those goes. Wow. Oh goodness. I still have to put up my signage. Yeah. Hi guys, and welcome back to Azaria's Place. If this is your first time, welcome to Azaria's Place. I'm Azaria. This is my place. If you are new to my channel, every week I will do Disney or theater. It alternates weeks, and then every Saturday I do a Sim Saturday. If you want to know more about why I started this channel, why I picked the things I want to talk about, you can watch my Welcome to My Channel video, which I'll link below. So I thought it'd be fun, instead of talking about something depressing about like the shows that are closing or talking about movie musical adaptations, I figured this would be a great time to get to know me. So I think I talked about this on my Welcome to My Channel video. I started doing theater because I am a singer. I fell in love with like dance and acting in bits and pieces. I used to dance at like church when I was younger, and I've always loved just performing in general. I knew that I wanted to sing from a young age, and then I discovered musical theater, and I was like, well, if I sing, someone will be there at a musical and they'll think, oh my gosh, she needs to be famous. So I think musical theater, it started out as something else. It was a way to get into music, and it ended up being what I decided to do for the rest of my life, which is kind of crazy. So I think I just figured out that I loved it. Like, I loved it instantly, I guess. So the first question, today it's a theater week, and I'm going to be talking about my theater first. This is the first time tag, so I think actually the original video, maybe, I'm not sure if she got it from someone else, but I was trying to find something like this, and I stumbled along someone's transcript of Catherine Steele's first time tag. So that's basically what this is going to be, but it's also going to be kind of like a story time, I guess. I also want to add, though, I'm going to be adding my own questions to this and making it a little more fun and different. So yeah, my first musical was Seussical, and I was the Sour Kangaroo, and it was awesome. I loved doing that show, and it's interesting how it just kind of changed my life, I guess. I just loved doing it. It ended up being my major in college. I don't know, it just, something about musical theater, it attracted me instantly, and along the way I learned that I really liked to act, and I really liked to, again, just perform. So it's opened up many doors for me in terms of self-realization and self-discovery, but it's also just been my home away from home. Most of my best friends are in musical theater. I met my boyfriend through doing theater, and yeah, it's my home. It really is. It's really my home, and it's given me every other aspect of my life, I think. So Seussical was my first musical, and it was the first musical I ever performed in, so yeah. And I feel like I can still remember it vividly, and I think one of my friends had the DVD of Seussical at their house. I don't have the DVD, and I watched it, and I was like, oh my gosh. It's crazy that people like thought this was good. I look at that, and I'm like, I was a child, a little baby, and I sound so young. So it's just weird to think that this is what I've evolved into speaking like, and talking like, and then singing like. So interesting. It's just very interesting. My first Broadway crush. I want to say it was Jeremy Jordan. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Jeremy Jordan, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, you know what? Actually, it might have been Adam Pascal. I do love Rent a lot. I love Rent so much. And I remember thinking that he was just beautiful. Just beautiful. So it might have been him, but I think I went a lot harder for Jeremy Jordan. My first lead. I mean, I'm pretty sure Sour Kangaroo counts as a lead. Pretty sure. So it was in my first musical, Seussical. Yeah, I would classify Sour Kangaroo as the first lead I ever had, which is kind of crazy. My first dream role. Now, is this my first dream role I've gotten to play, or my first dream role in general? Because I don't think I've actually gotten to play any of my dream roles yet, but I would have to say my first dream role ever was Mimi Marquez in Rent. I love Rent. I just said that like 2 seconds ago. I felt like I was introduced to it pretty young. Like, it was my mom's favorite musical, and something about it was just a different kind of story. I had a CD player, like a portable CD player, and my mom had the album, and I would listen to it because I just loved the music and something about it. And I remember I completely forgot about Rent. Like, years went by, forgot about Rent. I remember flipping through channels, and I saw it on TV one day, and I remember vividly because it was the scene where Angel and Collins are singing I'll Cover You, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Oh my goodness, it is Rent. And I don't know, something about the music and the story and I've even read the memoir about Rent. I've read Anthony Rapp's memoir, who played Mark, on it, and it's just a beautiful story. It's a love story above all else, and I think it's just a beautiful reminder to love without borders and to love like there's no tomorrow, and love like tomorrow's not promised either. I just think it has so many wonderful underlying themes and messages that are beautiful, and you look at the cast typically and it's just this rainbow of ethnicity, and it's a celebration of the world that's constantly changing, and I love that. So I love Rent. Maybe one day I'll just do a whole Rent episode because I have so many things to say about it. Anyways, that was really long-winded. This is one of the questions I'm going to add on. It's going to be the first show that made me, that I guess reinforced that I wanted to do this forever. And I remember this show, like, this kind of came in threes for me. It was like, I think I can do this. I know I can do this. I want to do this. I remember there are 3 shows that I distinctively think about when I think of those 3 things. The first one would be Joseph. I was able to play a narrator my sophomore year of high school, and I was so excited. And I remember, like, my director, who I love, I mean, he's probably the reason I pursued musical theater, and it was because he just took more chances on people. And that's actually the first show that got me, like, hardcore into musical theater. Like, that is the show that set off my desire to learn more about the history of theater, the people in theater, the industry itself. That show was really when I started turning into, like, the theater nerd and being like, yes, this show came out in this year, and this year the Tony was won for this show. Like, that was weird. That was the first show that made me, like, go hardcore for musical theater. The first show that attracted me to theater was Rent. That made me just like watching musicals. I remember watching so many musicals. My favorite movie of all time is Moulin Rouge. It's my bread and butter. I love that movie. I could watch it endlessly. I loved watching movie musicals. So, and I think part of that was from my mom. I think that was the first musical that made me think about musical theater and like it. And that was my first introduction to musical theater was Rent, for sure, the movie. The next one is my first stage kiss. Okay, so, I'm trying to think. I think it was when I was in 13. So, funny story. I was in 13 when I was 17. So I was playing Patrice. It was fine. It was someone that I like know and I'm friends with. It wasn't weird. I feel like the first time we kissed though was maybe Tech Week. I remember vividly, I think the first rehearsal where that happened because we were taking pictures. Like the photographer had come to do our production photos. I don't think I have a picture of the kiss, but I think I have a picture of our reaction to the kiss because it's in the middle of the song, If That's What It Is. The character Evan cuts off Patrice to kiss her. So it happened. And then it was like a crash. Like we just like crashed into each other, like not on purpose. He just kind of crashed into my face. And I hear our director like sitting in the back goes, "Don't hurt her." And we both just laugh. Here's the picture of our reaction to our director saying like, "Don't hurt her." And it's just funny. So, and then another story surrounding that. My aunt was at the production and it was this very small, intimate theater. You know, you could hear basically everything in that theater. And I remember her reaction to it, because mind you, our characters are 13 and no one in my family knew the show. So as soon as the kiss happens at one of the performances, I just hear my aunt go, oh no. And I was like, yeah, so I've had a lot of very funny memories relating to that first on-stage kiss, and then the first time anyone ever saw me kiss anyone on stage. So, I mean, that was really funny. Oh gosh, I guess I feel like I kind of already answered this, but this one says, the first moment you realize you love performing. Like I said, there were 3 shows that kind of reaffirmed it for me. I think that I loved doing Seussical, and I loved doing shows between Seussical and to when I did Joseph. I loved the shows that I did. That makes sense. I loved all the other shows between them. But I never really thought about doing musical theater as a career. And I think I always knew I loved performing, you know? And there wasn't a moment where I said, there wasn't a moment where it clicked that I loved performing, because I always did. I always loved performing. Whether it be for my dolls in my room, because I used to like line them all up and like sing for them and do things, and I loved playing make-believe in my room. Like I would pretend that I was a teacher, like in my room by myself. This question could be changed to the first time I realized that I loved musical theater, and then I wanted to do musical theater, and I think the first time I realized that was Joseph. This one says the first school musical, which I've already answered, to Seussical, and then I guess I'll say my first high school musical, to kind of change up a bit. My first high school musical was Annie. I was just in the ensemble. It wasn't anything spectacular. My first college musical was actually The Drowsy Chaperone, and I played Trix. I'll give you my first like bad audition, and my only bad audition, because I've learned. It was for The Drowsy Chaperone, as I just mentioned. That was my first college musical, so that was my freshman year. I didn't get the chance to rehearse with an accompanist. What did I sing? Oh, I remember what I sang. Okay, so they asked us to prepare 2 contrasting songs, and a 1920s comedic monologue. I think my boyfriend actually picked my monologue out for me. And yeah, he definitely did. My boyfriend picked my monologue for me, so shout out to him. And I picked my 2 songs. I picked Happy to Keep His Dinner Warm from How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. And oh gosh, what is it called? And Someone to Watch Over Me from OK or / by the Gershwins. I remember hearing one of my friends, who's actually one of my friends, shout out to Hallie, she was in before me, and I think she was singing Blow Gabriel Blow, I think. It was amazing, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm in college with very talented people, and people who actually want to do this for the rest of their lives. Like, whoo, this is getting stressful. So I went in, and at the time I, of course, didn't know any of this faculty yet. The director was a guest director, so they didn't actually work at our school, and then we had the associate music director who was playing for us, and the music director just sitting in as one of the auditors for the audition. I think I did my monologue first. And, you know, people talk at auditions, so people were saying, like, they're asking some people to sing their second song, some people not. We don't know if it's good or bad, we don't know what that means, like, oh gosh. And they asked me to sing my second song, so I'm feeling good. They laughed during my monologue. I was like, yes, I'm funny, I know. And I sang my song, and I felt really good. I sang Have to Keep His Dinner Warm first. And then they were like, hey, can you sing your second song? And I was like, oh yeah, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, don't care. And I sang it, and my music was in the wrong key. I feel like now I'm really good at just singing whatever key. It's actually happened before where the pianist has been playing a different key and I just start singing in that key. It's happened before. But freshman Azaria did not know the concept of that, and I just was like, this isn't the right way I've practiced the song. I'm so sorry. And they were like, no, it's okay. Thank you. That's all. And I remember as soon as it happened, I think I called my boyfriend right after that. And I was just like, I think I did so bad. I was like, I thought I was doing so good. Like, I was doing so good. And they laughed at my monologue, and they liked my first song, and they were like, can you sing your second one? And I didn't know what to do, and it wasn't the right key, and I don't think I'm going to be in the show. And I, like, had in my mind, I'm not going to be in the show, and I was okay with it. And then the callback list comes out, and I got called back for Trix, which I was like, okay, that's fine. And I got called back for Drowsy as well, and I was so taken aback. I was like, what did I do in there that... So I want to just kind of throw it out there that you can have a bad audition experience, but it's how you carry yourself. You know, I didn't burst down, have a meltdown in the audition room. I was just like, okay, I'm so sorry. Thank you guys so much. And I left. And then I cried to my boyfriend on the phone. So it's about just how you carry yourself and mistakes. I just remember being so distraught and thinking I wasn't going to get in the show. And then I had the worst audition ever. And it was literally my worst audition ever. Like, my first crush on a cast member. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever had any crushes on any cast member. Oh, I think mostly crew members. Yeah, my boyfriend was on stage crew. Yeah, I don't think I've had any, like, severe crushes on anybody I've done shows with, except for, like, 1 or 2 crew members. I think those are all of my theater firsts that I want to talk about today. I also really, really want to do, like, the roll call game where you put all of your roles on, like, a wall behind you, and you answer, like, the role I, like, had the best costume, or the role I loved playing the most, the role I would play again. I really want to do that. Broadway.com used to do them all the time. Or even my own Broadway bucket list. I'd love to do that. Where you just sing, like, your 3 bucket list songs. But anyways, on to the show tune spotlight. So this one was kind of just an easy no-brainer. This one just kind of slipped in my head first. I thought, first, what songs have the word first in it? And this one actually popped in my head before For the First Time in Forever. And this is just called For the First Time, which is from Tarzan the Musical. I don't think I've used this song yet. Pretty sure I haven't. But I love Tarzan the Musical. I don't think it got enough hype. I do think there were some issues with it. But I do think that The music is just beautiful. So Tarzan opened on Broadway in May of 2006 and closed in July of 2007, and its music and lyrics are by Phil Collins. It's really a beautiful score. I would give it a listen. I highly encourage you to. I think that Jane's character is just so beautifully fleshed out in the musical, and this song is between Tarzan and Jane. I think Jane starts it and then Tarzan jumps into it later, but it's a beautiful song, and it's just about them realizing that for the first time they are realizing something different, and it's love. So there you have it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I kind of want to get into doing more just like fun activity related things and not just current news or reactions, just to see how those go. And next week is a Disney week, but also if you want, tune in for this Sim Saturday, and I'm just having a blast. I'm having a really fun time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and be kind.